I got a degree in Baltimore, Maryland. There's a school called Towson State University, which at the time was one of the top jazz schools in the country. They had 5 jazz bands, were winning the Notre Dame Jazz Competition, so I went there. But I'd always wanted to be a woodwind doubler, so I took lessons in not just saxophone, but flute and clarinet, bassoon, and then began playing around the Baltimore area. Joined a service band right out of college and was in LA with an Air Force band. Went to University of Redlands to start a master's because the Stan Kenton Orchestra had recorded an album at the University of Redlands. It was a big album called Live at Redlands, and Stan Kenton Orchestra was associated with Towson State University. At my audition, they invited me to be the saxophone professor. This is at the age of 24. And so I quickly enrolled concurrently. Well, I took lessons with the saxophone professor at University of Southern California, studying intensely on classical saxophone, because my background was primarily jazz. So I started teaching at the University of Redlands, auditioned for the Air Force Academy Band in Colorado Springs, came up here to DU to complete a master's, and they said, "Oh, you've been a saxophone professor at the University of Redlands. Why don't you teach here?" And that was 35 years ago. I like to think that I don't want to say I'm a venture capitalist. I'm a venture investor in my students' futures. And what I ask students, even during the audition, I say, if everything goes great for you, if you get all the training that you need, and you develop exactly as you would like as a musician, where will you be 10 years from now? And I say, if you have no idea, make something up, lie to me. I want you to be creative and talk about specifically what kind of career you're going to have. I said, I want you to tell me what city you're living in, what kind of living situation you're in, what is your day like? And then when a student comes up with that type of imaginative answer, then we walk it back. Okay, you want to do this. You want to be a studio musician. You want to be touring. You want to have your own group, whatever it is. You want to be a classical soloist. Now we walk that back. That was 10 years. So that means 5 years from now, you need to have these skills. And that means at the end of your 4 years here, if you're an undergraduate, we need to be at these touch points. So I use that kind of imagination to help the students come up with a real plan of how they're going to develop their career. Because I've worked so much in the area, playing professionally with virtually every group, both classically and jazz in the area, I can plug my students into work opportunities very quickly. And so I teach to those work opportunities too. What is it you need to, what skills you need to have? And it's worked out very well. My goal is to make that brass thing they're hanging around their neck to be as transparent as possible so they can play any style of music, classical, jazz, pop, rock, anything. So my students, I'm very, very proud that they come out of the program with exposure to all those types of things. Because our enrollment is limited to 300 students, my saxophone studio is limited to 15. They only study with me. We don't have them study with a graduate teaching assistant. And that translates to the large ensemble experiences. We limit ourselves to 2 jazz ensembles at Lamont, the Lamont Jazz Orchestra and the Lamont Jazz Ensemble, and then also the Lamont Wind Ensemble. I feel like students need experience in all those areas. Saxophonists will play in one of the jazz ensembles 4 days a week for 1 hour. They'll also play, if they are accepted by audition, in the Lamont Wind Ensemble, which would be 2 days a week for 2 hours. They'll also play in a small group. We have 5 to 7 small groups depending on enrollment. They'll also do those 2 days a week for 2 hours. So on any given day, just for ensembles, they'll be playing 2 to 3 hours a day as far as ensembles, both large and small. In addition, they would go to saxophone performance class on Friday afternoons. All that is incorporated with woodwind performance class, where they would perform classical literature before woodwind faculty. They'll also perform in jazz performance class with their small groups who receive coaching from jazz faculty. I think the thing we do that's different here is this is real world instruction. What are the tools you need to succeed in the music marketplace, in the commercial music world? When I say commercial, that means the marketplace of all styles of music. And I think that's something that we do very well here.